Step into the world of Founders Dinner. Stories of entrepreneurial wins, losses, and lessons. Where the essence of entrepreneurship is unraveled in its most authentic form. Stas Balanevsky serves as your guide on this journey of discovery and inspiration. In each episode, Stas brings together entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds to share their stories. It's not just about their victories, but more about the resilience and adaptability they've shown in the face of adversity. These narratives are more than just stories. They are lessons in courage, determination, and the relentless pursuit of success. So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, dreaming of launching your first venture, or an established business leader seeking new perspectives, Founders Dinner is your invitation to explore the transformative power of entrepreneurship. And now, without further ado, let's welcome the host of Founders Dinner, Stas Balanevsky.
Welcome to the Founders Dinner podcast. I'm your host, Stas Balanevsky, and I have the pleasure of having Lena Levine with me as my guest today. Lena, how are you today?
I'm good. Staying out of trouble.
Awesome. That may not be the most fun, but probably good, staying out of trouble. So let's jump right in. I want to start with you. I want to start with your entrepreneurial journey. Can you walk me through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So my entrepreneurial journey, I would say, started the moment when I moved to the United States. So I moved to the US in 2009 from Russia. And I'm an immigrant, and I kind of fell into that, American dream story, pursuing my dreams, which happened to be American. And I never even thought that I would be an entrepreneur. My whole family are engineers. That's my background. I got a master's in computer science from Russian University before I moved here. And that's what I thought, that I'd be in the corporate job, working 9 to 5, being an engineer, just like the rest of my family. And when I moved to the US, I worked the corporate job for a little bit, for 6 months. I didn't like it. I was working for a small web development agency, which ended up going out of business, which kind of led me to my path to be an entrepreneur, where I got into freelance. I got into the consulting as a full stack engineer, and that organically evolved into me running a software development agency. But now that I look back on my early days of getting into entrepreneurship, I realized that being an immigrant and relocating, moving across the world to a different place, those skill sets that I leveraged, trying to establish my life in the US, that essentially I've been leveraging the same skills for building my business, skills like able to dream big, having a vision, being able to pursue that vision, setting goals, achieving goals, being a little bit crazy and optimistic, and being able to push through the tough times, especially as entrepreneurs. We know it's a roller coaster ride. Today is amazing. Tomorrow you feel like it could get any worse. So having that grit, having the ability to meet people, build your network, and leverage that network, those survival skills, the skills that I built, being an immigrant, I then started applying to building my company, which was very organic and subconscious. And that's how, organically I transitioned into this path as an entrepreneur.
That is so well said. I've never actually thought of it that way. So it's interesting because you and I have very similar backgrounds, just mine is from a previous century, right? I came here from Russia, but not in 2009. I came here in 1979. And it's interesting hearing you say that all of those skills that you develop being an immigrant are really transferable to the entrepreneurial world, right? Yeah. Sometimes there's no option for a no, right?
Absolutely. Just have to push forward. That's why there was an article that I was reading that statistically, if you're an immigrant, you make a more successful entrepreneur, I think, for those exact same reasons, because you just that's your mindset and you apply it to everything in your life.
Yeah, that's true. Everything I see, I do apply that same sort of lens. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess on deeper analysis, yeah, That makes a lot of sense. So you come here in '09, you landed
Mhm,
a corporate job, you realize 6 months in it's not for you. What was not for you?
mhm. I didn't feel like I had a direct impact on clients and the people who I work with. I just felt like I was a number in the cog in the system. And again, I had that bigger vision for myself that I remember we had to fill in there was like a survey that they sent it out to all people on the team, kind of like, where do you envision yourself in 5 years, like a typical corporate
Right.
survey. And I remember in the survey I put I want to be a CEO, but in the context of the corporate company, the person, my manager, probably was laughing because, like, you're at this like entry level job and you're thinking about becoming a CEO of the corporation. Like, who are you, right? But now, as I ended up not staying within that company and I decided to build my own business, that vision that I even had then, like vision of being my own, CEO, the company business owner, that still got incorporated, but in a slightly different form.
That's awesome. So yeah, well before 2014, were you a CEO? Like you were,
In my mind, yeah.
that's good. That's really good. So you grew the business, right? Where are you now? What are you doing now?
So before I grew the business, I started my business, which is I started the web development agency. So that was my skill set. I was a full stack engineer, and my agency name is Forcoda. We just celebrated 10-year anniversary, which is also wild to think, and we. Yeah, it's exciting milestone, and we're now a team of 15 people, consisting of product managers, engineers, designers, and I, over this last 10 years, we had the privilege working with companies with pretty much across top industries, including banking, fintech, construction, real estate, e-commerce, nonprofits, you name it. And companies of different sizes as well, from startups to Fortune 500 companies like MIT Bank, Oral-B. And our philosophy as a company, we focusing on helping companies to build the right products for the right customers, and we achieve it by leveraging our expertise in design, technology, and combining it with data to make informed decisions about, again, design and technology solutions. And we leverage data from customer market research that we also conduct for clients. So again, that we ourselves and our clients can make informed decisions about the software and the products that we build in with them.
Oh, that's awesome. So you went
Yeah.
like corporate out, freelance, start your thing, and that's been the thing.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's phenomenal. Congratulations. 10 years is a
Thank
milestone
you.
that most companies do not hit.
Yes, we got here.
You got here. A long way to go for sure to get to where you want to get to. So I'm sure your growth has been steady, easy, no issues, no bumps, completely predictable.
It's been definitely steady. So we've been growing organically. Most of our clients have been word of mouth referrals from our existing customers. So especially in Buffalo, if you're doing a great job, people refer business to you. So that's how we've been growing over the last 10 years. I wouldn't say that there weren't any bumps on the road. There's always challenges, right? And especially early days, me being going from one person solopreneur to start building the team, there was definitely a lot of challenges that I had to overcome and learn and put myself in those different roles. So I would say the first one, the challenge that in the early days I struggled with delegation and trusting others to do a great job, right? Again, when you're going from one to many, this is, I see, the common challenge for many startup founders or company founders, being able to delegate and let go of that control. Being able to, another challenge that I was able to overcome is obviously finding great people to work with, right? Understanding what values you want to hire. And actually, EOS system has been a great support and great resource for identifying those, our company values. Yes, identifying what, how we want to operate, what's important for us as a team, and what's important, what values we want to showcase to the clients. That became a foundation of our hiring decisions within the company and how we operate.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I didn't know you ran on EOS.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great resource. So actually, we've done it before. I'm going through another round of with my team of just like kind of like getting a refresher on the EOS processes and like reviewing our goals and like reposition the company a little bit. So yeah, it's been absolutely helpful and like a big part of our success.
Oh, amazing. That makes me so happy. Good for you. So
Thank
it's
you.
interesting. Like obviously, as an EOS implementer, I love the fact that you're leveraging EOS to get you through those bumps. But I'd like to talk about something that maybe isn't an EOS fixable thing, or I
Okay.
want you to tell me a story about somewhere where you really just misread it, where it
Mhm.
did not go right. Five leadership abilities, right? One of them is predict. Talk to me about where you missed a prediction, where you thought something was something that it was not. And I want to unpack that lesson.
Something that was not. I do have a story of maybe what you said, like something that I couldn't predict because the pandemic happened. So that's something
Sure.
that definitely none of us predicted. But I was in the process of putting together a proposal for national level client, and it would have been, multi-thousand, like hundreds of thousands of dollars contract for development project, and I was not putting the proper priority on that contract and opportunity, and I was approaching it as a kind of like at the more, I would say, like laid back pace, because there was a lot of things going on at the time with work and my personal life. So the things, I wasn't pushing forward that contract as maybe like proactively or as fast as I should have. So by the time we're at the final stages of finalizing the contract and like kind of like almost signing the deal, pandemic happened, and company had to hit the hiring freeze on all the project. Then they had to go through the restructuring, and essentially, if maybe if we were to move a little bit faster, we would have kind of like were able to cross that threshold where they would put the hiring freeze, but which didn't happen. And essentially we missed that opportunity, ended up not getting the contract because the company went into this whole different direction and like hiring freeze and then like reducing the labor. So we missed this great opportunity with a national level client that could have like really put us further ahead in our journey. But yeah, that was a big and expensive lesson.
That is a hell of a lesson. So, what did we learn?
I learned that sales love speed.
Sales love speed. So true.
Yes.
I remember I took my foot off of the business development gas pedal once in my career for 6 months and
Hmm.
felt it for years. So now, I get made fun of by some of my fellow EOS implementers where I'm like, I'm like right now I'm in a cohort to improve my business development. And they're like, what are you doing? Because my practice is
Hmm.
completely full. I'm like, my practice will not be completely full, at my next graduation. So I need
Right.
to continue to do that because I too made that mistake. And
Hmm.
it's one that I paid for a long, long time.
Yeah. You definitely, if you lose that momentum, it's hard to build it up. It takes about 6 months to fill in that pipeline with new leads and new opportunities. So, and especially with, I would say, current challenging economic landscape, it's you have to almost like double your efforts to be, make sure that you're staying ahead of the curve. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So that was pre-pandemic. So now I'm sure
Mhm.
your biz dev processes are pretty well documented and there's some urgency to them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And also, to go back to EOS, like one of our core values that we added to our, company vision is wow factor. So, like going above and beyond at all the different phases of the projects, including sales, right? So now we're not only making sure that our sales process is streamlined and fast and to the point, but that we also, even at the early stage of sales process, we get to wow our clients or potential clients, right? By delivering more than they expect at that stage, right? Whether we providing UX UI audit of the application and providing insights of what can be improved, right? How they can go from here to here, providing also maybe like doing the discovery of like the technology needs, and instead of offering them one solution, providing like multiple options that they can choose from, right? So that way, not just approaching it from kind of like bare minimum, here's the proposal, here's how much it costs, but actually already engaging with clients in the early stages from that like partner, mindset level, partner person. So that way we can already showcase our skill sets. And that has been that just like doing that, like going above and beyond and having that wow factor helped us even like to increase our close rate by, tens of like, I think it was like 23%. So
20 to 23% increase on your close rate.
Yeah.
So that's a great lesson.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And you would have never gotten there had you not made that mistake.
Yes. I wish I didn't make that mistake, but the hindsight is 2020.
It is, but the beauty of it is, I always look for the gift, right? I have a good friend who he teaches this course called Positive Intelligence, and one of the things that he teaches is you start to understand that within every thing that doesn't quite go right, there's always a gift. Like the corporate job that I had for 5 weeks, I got fired from that thing.
I know.
Yeah. And it was gut-wrenching at the time, but that's what got me here, right? I went back to my entrepreneurial roots. I spun up a business as a fractional CMO. I joined Vistage. I met an EOS implementer. Many years later, he suggested I become an EOS implementer, and here I am almost 4 years into the journey, right? It was a decade ago. But had I not done the things that I did to get fired from that job, I wouldn't be here. And had I not done things before, I would have never gotten that job.
Yeah. I think it's extremely important to be able to take the situations that might look like, put you at a disadvantage, like having like the challenging times, and really using them to change the direction of your, career, of your life journey, and really using it as a positive event in your life. I think it's extremely important to be able to have that even like outlook and perception, right? And again, I think that goes back to this like entrepreneurial immigrant mindset, because you never know how. I forgot, there was some book that I was reading, and they said something like, you never know through which door life will take you to your goal, right? So sometimes you have to go through several obstacles and maybe go through some tough times in order to reach that goal that you were looking to achieve. So it's all part of the bigger process and the bigger picture.
Part of the journey. It's funny, you talk to a lot of our entrepreneurial friends, right? And zoomed out, everybody sees their trajectory, and it's that nice up and to the right, there it goes. But when you really zoom in, it's this, right? It's just up and down, up and down, up and down.
And that just throughout one day.
Right. I'm the king of the world. I'm out of business. Yeah. And so what do you do to sort of ground yourself emotionally? Because emotionally, like going through a day of like, I'm the king of the world and I have to lay off 100% of my staff and I'm out of business. And that happens, like that arc happens in like 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I would lie if I would say that I don't struggle with it sometimes myself. Like, I like to think that I'm a very grounded person, but there are definitely days or weeks where I feel like it's like you just can't, you're going through the tough week and you just like can't get out of it. And what I try to do to ground myself is just I would say like the taking care of your basic needs, your, like the mental health, the physical health, getting good night's sleep. So like, working out, that definitely helps me. Like if I can go to the gym in the morning and like get that workout routine early in the morning, that just like sets me in a better pace for the rest of the day. So I'm just, hype myself up and I'm like, I can do it. I got this. And just, finding that balance, like I tend to, I'm when I love what I do, which is, my company, and like now I'm also building another technology, like AI tech company. Like I'm very passionate about all of those things, right? And I tend to immerse myself into those things like nonstop. Like if I have a free time on my calendar, I'm gonna fill it with work, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do," right? I'm like, okay, I have free time. I have like endless list of things that I need to work on. So I'm going to be working. So for me, if I don't schedule fun things or some sort of like activity or like kick myself out of the office or the house, then it's not going to happen. So like even just scheduling something fun to do, that helps me to like break the day and, just switch gears. So yeah.
Super smart. Let that be a lesson to everybody listening, right? Workaholism is a wonderful thing as long as you're able to sometimes schedule. So, in your company, clearly you're the visionary. Are you also the integrator?
So I can be both, but I'm trying to step away from being an integrator and again delegate to the right people on my team, because otherwise it's also I'm very easily want to jump into doing things. I'm like, oh my God, it's just going to take me like 5 minutes to send this email. So I just actually before jumping on the call, I had to send the email to my salesperson so he can follow up with one of the prospects. But before that, I was like, I need to send an email with all these marketing materials. And I was like, wait a second. No, I actually have somebody who is dedicated to this responsibility. I'm just going to ask them to do it. So I'm also always like, have to remind myself not to jump back into action. But yeah, I would say over the years, I went from being an integrator to be more in the visionary role, because now I have like two companies that I'm building and I have to be very mindful how I spend my time and energy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously super high energy, but you're also being mindful of turning it off a little bit.
I'm doing my best.
We have to, right? We have to turn it off a little bit here and there. So, what's the future, right? You have this successful company, 10 years in, you're launching another one. What's your 10-year target? Where are you taking this thing?
So my passion, and that's something also my why that I discovered from going through a burnout last year. I was working with a coach, and it took me a couple months to get out of this, burnout state. But on the upside, I discovered my why, which is like I want to help 1 million entrepreneurs to build better businesses, better companies, better products. And I'm doing this with the agency right now, but again, I can't do it at the scale of helping, let's say, 1 million people around the world. So this is where kind of like the vision for the AI product that I'm building right now came from. The company is called Startup Mentor AI, and it's AI application that helps entrepreneurs. It also is, can be used by innovation teams at the enterprise level companies. Let's say you have an idea for application you want to build, and you want to build a business around it, but before you go and invest money in the software development, we help you to validate your idea, understand who your customers are, what they need, how to reach the customers, how to sell to them, maybe like get a little bit of traction, like sales, pre-sales, interest upfront, so that way you again like validate your idea and position yourself for either raising your first $1 million or hitting that 10,000s of dollars in monthly recurring revenue. And it's all through it's a set of AI tools that you can leverage to reach those goals, right? Analyze your customers, analyze your like research data, and analyze competitors, and based on that come up with a strategy how you're going to sell and reach the customers and scale your business. So yeah, that's next. I'm building this company, Startup Mentor AI, and yeah, I'd love to be part of the bigger momentum of helping a million entrepreneurs worldwide to reach their goals.
I love it. I love it. That's cool. So, like pre MVP, you can just start. Wow. Okay, I definitely want to take a look at it.
Absolutely.
That's really, really cool. So, what?
Thank you.
So, two companies. I
Mhm.
don't feel like you're going to stop there.
Oh my God, don't give me any ideas.
Well, no, you know what? I mean, sometimes I'm very lucky to have worked with a lot and work with a lot of visionaries, right? Visionaries that
Mhm.
have great integrator tendencies, but are true visionaries and want to start things and create things and put a dent in the universe. It's interesting because you and I have similar 10-year targets. For me, it's
Mm.
$1 billion of client side revenue growth.
All right,
So
I love it.
yeah, it's $100 million a year, and
No
we're
big deal.
well, no, it's growth, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm running with 30 clients, so like I hit it this year, so it's super fun to watch, the entire sort of ecosystem of the people you work with grow by $100 million.
Yeah. No, it's extremely rewarding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. So big things for you. I mean, you're riding the AI wave. So are you bootstrapping this thing? Are you going out and grabbing funding? What are you doing?
So for now, we're bootstrapping. We've generated some sales already as well. And right now, we're going through product refinement a little bit based on the customer feedback that we've got. And I'd love to raise funding down the line a little bit. But yeah, for now, just want to release really solid version of MVP. We're going through the pilots of like a few universities, entrepreneurship programs as well, like a startup competitions. And, we'll be scaling from there.
That's awesome. So are we going to see you on the stage at Shays next year?
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Love it. Love it. For those people that are listening from outside of Buffalo, Shays Performing Arts Center is a beautiful former vaudeville theater. And every year in November, there is the 43 North Business Plan Competition that, I think that this year is cohort 10, right?
Yes, yeah. They also
Um,
celebrate a 10-year anniversary. Yeah.
yeah. And hopefully on their 11th, you'll be one of the companies and then moving into this beautiful tall building that's right outside my window.
Oh, listen, it's the best views in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, Buffalo's just such an amazing town. And so, what else are you doing sort of in the Buffalo startup ecosystem, in the startup world? Like you and I we've probably been in the same room, but we've not been introduced. So, how have we missed each other?
Yeah. I don't know. So the question is what I am not doing, which is I've been doing a lot of things with the Buffalo tech community. For 6 years, between 2013 and 2019, I've been running a chapter of a nonprofit called Girl Develop It. So we've been teaching women, adult women, on like how to code. We taught different coding classes, workshops, events. Like was a total of 100 events in the span of 6 years.
Oh my
And
God.
we grew the community. Yeah, our online community was like 900 women. And we were like really put women in tech in Buffalo, in the spotlight. It was amazing, amazing experience. I've met so many wonderful people and it's just like, build the friendships, connections for life. And then I've been involved with the Buffalo Startup Week as an organizer, speaker. I've mentored startups. I also recently got accepted as an entrepreneur in residence for Launch New York. So this is like
Oh wow.
fresh off the press, like very brand new.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So I just love being a part of the community, continue giving back. Like that's when I moved to the US, that's something that really impressed me and stood out to me. How I don't know if it's like a Buffalo thing specifically or, like the cultural thing in general, but people were very like helpful and giving and entrepreneurial community. People were just so helpful, right? Like if you build on something like, hey, I'm going to connect you with this person. And I really, that stood out so much to me. And I've been passionate about giving back since. And yeah, I'm just continue again being part of that, helping 1 million entrepreneurs to on their journeys. Yeah, just continue moving forward.
That is amazing. And yes, that is a Buffalo thing. That want to help people. It's crazy good here. I've lived in a bunch of other
Yeah,
cities and they're lovely. And, every city has the great stuff and then the stuff that you don't love so much. But boy, the entrepreneurial community and the community at large here in Western New York is really kind and welcoming and nice.
yeah.
It's funny. I was just doing a mid-manager session this morning with the agency that actually placed me when I came as a refugee.
Really?
So
Wow.
that was really cool. And yeah, so Jewish Family Services, when we came here as refugees, they were like, we will get you a house. And then, 40 some odd years later, I was like, I'm going to implement EOS with you. And we're doing it, and it's super fun, and they're making a huge impact. They're growing. They have a beautiful leadership team, and I love this town.
Yeah, it came the full circle.
Yeah. Like that was the most full circle experience for me ever. Because those were
amazing.
Literally the first agency we interacted with back in May of '79 when we landed here.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that they continue making impact on the lives of the people in the community. That's also how many years they've been around. That's unbelievable.
Oh, I'm embarrassed. I don't know what year they were founded, but
before 1979.
Before 79 for sure. No, they're a wonderful organization. There's so many great organizations here, so many great spots to help. You've definitely inspired me to go look for some more spots, and I'm mentoring at a business accelerator, and I've done some speaking at 43 North, and I've gone to a bunch of other places, and I'm just always looking for more and more. So I think that to the people listening, if you're an entrepreneur that want someone to talk to, I think that you and I are both people that are happy to pick up the phone and have a conversation with an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. So yeah,
for sure. Wow. I love it. This is so great to meet you. So great to get to know you. I mean, your story is amazing. I wish you all the success in the world, because I'm sure you're going to get it.
Thank you, Stas. I appreciate your kind words. Working hard to reach my goals.
That is amazing. So I think we've learned something today. I think if one entrepreneur takes one little nugget out of this conversation, then we've done our jobs. And I'd say with that, this concludes this week's episode of Founders Dinner Podcast. For those looking to connect with Lena, her link is going to be in the description. And this is Stas Balanevsky signing off. I'll see you all next week.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Founders Dinner. Stories of entrepreneurial wins, losses, and lessons. Once again, we've journeyed through the inspiring and challenging world of entrepreneurship with Stas Balanevsky, uncovering stories that illuminate the resilience and adaptability at the heart of success. Each narrative shared today is a testament to the unyielding spirit of our entrepreneurial guests, providing lessons in courage and determination. We hope these stories have not only entertained, but also inspired you. Whether you're taking the first steps in your entrepreneurial journey or are a seasoned leader in the business world, Founders Dinner is more than just a podcast. It's a community of learning, inspiration, and connection. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more insightful episodes and join our vibrant LinkedIn community to continue the conversation, share experiences, and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs. Until next time, keep embracing the entrepreneurial journey. This is Stas Balanevsky, thanking you for being a part of the Founders Dinner family. See you at the next dinner.